The bustling city of Rajagaya awakened with the cries of merchants, and the air was rich with possibilities. Ananda, a prosperous merchant, hurried through the markets, his mind racing with opportunities he might seize or lose. His heart beat heavily, not from the effort of his steps, but from the weight of his fears. His wealth seemed insufficient, his connections fragile, and his future uncertain despite his outward success. Ananda sought the Buddha at Vulture Peak, hoping for solace amidst the turmoil of his thoughts. The serene figure of the Buddha was seated beneath a majestic tree, surrounded by disciples listening intently. The sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting gentle patterns on the ground as if nature itself paused to listen. "Blessed One," Ananda said, bowing deeply, "I am tormented by thoughts of what I might have missed. My soul finds no peace." The Buddha's gaze rested calmly on Ananda, and his voice was steady, like a river flowing through still lands. "Ananda, your troubles are of your own making. Tell me, are you chasing what is, or fearing what is not?" "I fear what I have not grasped," Ananda admitted, his voice trembling. "Opportunities, friendships, wealth, they slip away, leaving me empty." The Buddha nodded, as if acknowledging the truth Ananda perceived. "Come," he said, "sit with me, and I will tell you a story of times past." The disciples leaned in, their breaths quieting, as the Buddha began his tale. There was once a farmer named Ravi, a man of ambition and endless plans. His orchard was his pride. Ravi's orchard, the Buddha continued, was filled with trees bursting with ripe mangoes, their golden hue glowing in the sunlight. Each fruit was a treasure, and Ravi's mind filled with visions of the profit he might make. Ravi wandered among the trees, the Buddha said, his voice carrying the rhythm of a flowing stream. He debated endlessly. Should he sell in the town market or the distant city? The disciples could see Ravi in their mind's eye, pacing back and forth, his hands gesturing as if grappling with invisible foes. The mangoes seemed to wait, their sweetness growing while Ravi's plans consumed his days. His neighbors harvested their fields, singing songs of joy, while Ravi's heart filled with doubt. The Buddha continued. He feared one choice would betray the promise of another. The mangoes began to drop, one by one, their skin wrinkling, their juices seeping into the earth. Each passing day brought no decision, the Buddha said, and the fruits rotted. Forgotten in his endless deliberations, the disciples murmured, seeing in Ravi's hesitation a reflection of their own struggles. "What happened to Ravi?" Ananda asked, his voice breaking the silence. The Buddha smiled, as if seeing the farmer before him. Ravi learned his lesson when his orchard bore no fruit the next season. He wept over his losses. Ananda's brow furrowed, his mind trying to grasp the lesson hidden in the tale. The Buddha's voice grew softer, urging reflection. FOMO is the illusion that keeps you bound to shadows. You reach for everything, but hold nothing. The wind stirred the leaves above, carrying the Buddha's words to every listener. Life is not a race to collect. It is a river to be embraced, moment by moment. With gratitude, Ananda lowered his gaze, the weight of his worries lifting slightly, as if the Buddha's words carried them away on the wind. "Blessed One," he said, "I fear I have wasted too much time like Ravi, losing what is real." The Buddha's face shone with compassion, his eyes like still lakes reflecting the vast sky above. "Ananda, regret not the past, nor fear the future. Be present, and the richness of life will unfold." The disciples nodded in silent agreement, their hearts warmed by the clarity of the Buddha's teachings. The sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson, as if echoing the essence of the moment. Ananda bowed again, feeling a peace he had not known for many days. "Thank you, Blessed One. Your wisdom has shown me the path I must walk." The Buddha smiled, his presence as serene as the first light of dawn breaking through a veil of darkness. Walk with mindfulness, Ananda, and let not the shadows of fear cloud the radiance of your being. The disciples dispersed, carrying the tale of Ravi in their minds, reflecting on the impermanence of desires unfulfilled. The evening deepened, and the quietude of Vulture Peak embraced the world. Holding it in a gentle stillness, the trees whispered in the wind, as if they too had absorbed the Buddha's teachings. Swaying rhythmically in harmony, Ananda left the peak, his heart lighter, the lessons of the Buddha illuminating his path like lanterns in the night. The Buddha remained under the tree, his figure a beacon of peace, a living testament to the truth he had shared. The moon rose, its silver light touching the world, carrying the message of the Buddha to the farthest corners. The words of the Buddha echoed in Ananda's mind as he walked, each step a reminder to cherish the present moment. He resolved to live with mindfulness, to value what he had, and to release the grip of fear. In the silence of the night, Vulture Peak stood timeless, a sacred space where the whispers of wisdom resonated endlessly. The Buddha's teachings carried on, woven into the lives of his disciples, rippling like waves across the ocean of existence. Another day, the sun rose gently over the serene forests of Jetavana, casting soft light upon the vibrant greenery. Maya, a young woman burdened by her thoughts, approached the Buddha with tentative steps and a heart full of unease. She carried the weight of comparisons, measuring her life against the shimmering images of others she admired. Her voice trembled as she spoke. Blessed One, my heart aches as I see the brilliance in others' lives while my own feels dull. The Buddha turned his gaze to her, his eyes reflecting an infinite well of compassion and understanding. Maya, tell me, what is it that you see in others that casts such heavy shadows upon your own spirit? I see their beauty, success, and joy, Maya said, her voice faltering. I feel as if my life lacks meaning or light. The Buddha nodded gently, his expression calm yet profound, as if holding the universe's quiet wisdom within him. Come, Maya, walk with me, he said, gesturing to the forest path that unfolded like a tapestry of nature's grace. They walked in silence until they reached the banks of a clear, tranquil lake, surrounded by blossoming trees. The surface of the water shimmered in the sunlight, a mirror reflecting the world with serene clarity. The Buddha knelt by the water's edge and gathered a handful of pebbles. Holding them in his weathered yet gentle palm, Maya, look at this lake, the Buddha said, his voice a soothing melody that harmonized with the rustling leaves. It reflects the world around it perfectly when it is undisturbed. Now, watch closely. He began to toss the pebbles into the lake, one by one, creating ripples that expanded across the surface. Each ripple moved gracefully outward, intersecting and merging with others, forming intricate patterns of motion and stillness. See how the ripples dance, the Buddha continued, his tone filled with reverence for the natural rhythm of the moment. Each is unique, forming its path across the water. Are any two ripples the same? Maya watched the ripples intently, her eyes following their gentle arcs as they met and intertwined. No, Blessed One, she replied softly. Each ripple is different, shaped by its own cause and movement. The Buddha smiled, as if hearing the echo of a timeless truth in her words. So it is with life, Maya, he said. No two lives are the same, each shaped by its own causes, conditions, and unfolding. He reached down and touched the water lightly, causing a new ripple to spread from his fingertips. When you compare yourself to others, you forget the beauty of your own unique ripple in life's vast ocean. Maya's heart stirred as she pondered his words, feeling a faint glimmer of understanding beginning to dawn within her. But, Blessed One, she asked hesitantly, why do I feel that others' ripples seem more beautiful or meaningful than my own? The Buddha's gaze grew even gentler, his voice tinged with the warmth of a patient teacher guiding a lost student. Maya, this is the mirage of comparison, born from the illusion that others' lives are flawless while hiding our own treasures. He pointed to the lake again, where the ripples had begun to settle, leaving the surface smooth and still. When the mind is disturbed by envy or doubt, it stirs the waters of our perception, distorting what is real. The stillness of the lake mirrored the stillness in the Buddha's presence, a calm that enveloped Maya's troubled soul. To free yourself from this illusion, you must see clearly, as the lake reflects the world when it is undisturbed. Maya's eyes filled with tears, not of sorrow, but of a deep, unspoken yearning to release the burden she carried. How can I learn to see clearly, Blessed One? She asked, her voice a whisper carried by the gentle breeze. The Buddha picked up a single pebble and placed it in Maya's hand, his touch light yet grounding. Begin with mindfulness, Maya, he said. Observe your own thoughts without judgment, and you will see the ripples of comparison fade. He gestured toward the forest path they had walked, where sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating patterns of light and shadow. Life is like this path, ever changing, yet always leading forward. Each step is yours alone to take. Maya closed her fingers around the pebble, feeling its cool, smooth surface, a tangible reminder of the lesson she had received. Thank you, Blessed One, she said, her voice steady, though her heart trembled with newfound resolve. I will strive to see the beauty within my own ripple. The Buddha's smile was as radiant as the sunlight that bathed the forest, a silent affirmation of her journey ahead. Remember, Maya, he said, his words imbued with a timeless grace. The stillness within you reflects the truth of who you are. As they began to walk back to the gathering place, the forest seemed to sing with the wisdom that had been shared. The sound of birdsong, the rustle of leaves, and the murmur of a distant stream blended into a symphony of harmony. The disciples who awaited the Buddha's return saw the change in Maya's demeanor, the lightness that seemed to follow her steps. The Buddha resumed his seat beneath the ancient tree, his presence a beacon of peace amidst the ceaseless flow of life. Maya sat among the disciples, holding the pebble in her hand, a simple yet profound symbol of her awakening. The teachings of the Buddha continued, weaving stories and truths that touched the hearts of all who listened. As the day turned to evening, the sun set beyond the horizon, its golden hues painting the sky with a fleeting brilliance. The forest grew quiet, the stillness of night embracing the world, echoing the stillness within those who had heard the Buddha's words. Maya gazed at the pebble in her hand one last time before placing it on the ground. A gesture of release and gratitude, she left the gathering with a lighter heart, the lessons of the Buddha guiding her as the stars began to shine. The forest held its peace, and the lake's surface reflected the moonlight, a mirror of the boundless truths that transcended time. The Buddha's teachings rippled through the hearts of his disciples, a gentle yet profound wave of understanding that reached far and wide. Another day, as twilight descended upon the sacred grounds of Sarnath, the Buddha sat among a gathering of disciples. The air was cool, and the scent of blooming jasmine filled the evening, lending serenity to the atmosphere. Kumara, a young potter, approached the Buddha with hesitant steps and eyes heavy with worry. Blessed One, Kumara began, his voice quivering, I am tormented by the fear of losing what I have worked so hard to create. His hands, calloused from years of shaping clay, trembled as he spoke, revealing the depth of his inner turmoil. The Buddha regarded Kumara with a gaze filled with compassion, his expression as tranquil as the still waters of a pond. Kumara, he said gently, what is it that you fear losing? And what power does this fear hold over your mind? I fear losing my possessions, my craft, and the respect I have earned, Kumara replied, his voice filled with anguish. This fear consumes my days and robs me of peace, leaving me restless and sleepless. The Buddha remained silent for a moment, allowing Kumara's words to settle like fallen leaves upon the ground. Then, with a calm gesture, he pointed to a simple clay pot that rested nearby, an object of both beauty and utility. "Bring me that pot, Kumara," the Buddha said, his tone inviting yet purposeful. Kumara obeyed, placing the pot before the Buddha with trembling hands. Unsure of the lesson that awaited him, the Buddha lifted the pot, cradling it in his hands as if it were a fragile treasure, and then turned to Kumara. "This pot is much like the things you hold dear, Kumara," he said. "Its form is beautiful, its surface smooth, yet it is impermanent." He held the pot out to Kumara, his eyes steady and unwavering. "Now, let go of it." Kumara hesitated, his hands hovering near the pot, his heart pounding with reluctance. "But, Blessed One, it will fall and break," he protested, his voice tinged with desperation. The Buddha's voice remained gentle, like a soothing breeze, yet it carried the weight of profound truth. "Let go, Kumara," he repeated. "Release your grasp and see what unfolds." With great reluctance, Kumara released his hold on the pot, allowing it to fall to the ground where it shattered into countless fragments. He gasped, his hands trembling as he beheld the broken pieces scattered before him. The Buddha observed the scene with serene detachment, his expression unchanged, as if the shattered pot held no tragedy within its fragments. "Do you see, Kumara?" he asked, his voice as calm as a still lake. The pot was always destined to break, for all things are impermanent. Kumara's eyes filled with tears, not of sorrow but of a deep and sudden realization that pierced his heart. "Blessed One," he said, his voice trembling, "I understand now. My fear is born from clinging to what I cannot keep." The Buddha nodded, his presence radiating a quiet wisdom that seemed to embrace all who listened. "FOMO arises from attachment, Kumara," he said. "We fear losing what we possess because we forget the impermanence of all things." He gestured to the broken pot, its fragments glinting in the fading light of the setting sun. "By clinging, you chain yourself to suffering," the Buddha continued. "But by letting go, you find the freedom to live without fear." The disciples who had gathered around listened intently, their hearts stirred by the simplicity and depth of the Buddha's words. The evening grew quieter, the stillness of the moment amplifying the resonance of the teachings. "Kumara," the Buddha said, his voice now softer, like the first light of dawn, "do you see the lesson in the fragments before you?" Kumara nodded slowly, his heart lighter as he absorbed the truth he had been shown. "Yes, Blessed One," he said, "I see that my fear has no power when I accept impermanence and let go of attachment." The Buddha's smile was as gentle as the moonlight that began to illuminate the gathering, a silent affirmation of Kumara's realization. "To live without fear is to embrace the present moment," the Buddha said. "This is the path to true liberation." The disciples bowed their heads in reverence, the lesson resonating deeply within their souls, like ripples spreading across still waters. The night enveloped the sacred grounds of Sarnath, its quiet embrace holding the wisdom of the Buddha's words like a sacred treasure. Kumara knelt before the Buddha, his hands folded in gratitude, his heart filled with a peace he had never known. "Thank you, Blessed One," he said. "Your words have freed me from the chains of my fear." The Buddha placed a hand on Kumara's shoulder, a gesture of reassurance and encouragement. "Walk the path with mindfulness, Kumara," he said, "and let not the impermanence of life hinder the joy of each step." As the disciples dispersed, their hearts carrying the teachings like lanterns in the darkness, the Buddha remained seated beneath the ancient tree. The moon rose higher, its light bathing the sacred grounds in a serene glow. as if the heavens themselves bore witness to the timeless truths shared that day. The fragments of the pot lay scattered, yet they seemed to hold no sorrow, only the quiet acceptance of their impermanence. The lesson lingered in the air, a gentle yet profound reminder that life's beauty lies not in clinging, but in letting go. Kumara left the gathering with steady steps, his heart unburdened, his mind clear, the Buddha's words guiding him like a compass. The night deepened, and the quietude of Sarnath embraced the world, holding it in a gentle stillness that echoed the peace within. The stars above shimmered like countless eyes, witnessing the unfolding of wisdom and the liberation of a soul from fear. The Buddha's teachings rippled through the hearts of his disciples, a wave of understanding that transcended time and space. And so, the night passed, and the sacred grounds of Sarnath remained timeless, a sanctuary where truth and peace converged. The Buddha's words lived on, woven into the fabric of existence, guiding those who sought the path to freedom and enlightenment. The disciples absorbed his words, their hearts touched by the beauty of the analogy. One disciple, a young man, asked, "Master, how can we rise above the mud without being sullied by it?" Buddha smiled gently, his eyes reflecting compassion. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.